Hey there, Ramble Force. I'm Chris Gamble.
And I'm JJ Cannon, and we are here with day 2 at CEDIA Expo. And good morning, it's our breakfast show.
Thank you everyone for the reaction to the day 1 breakfast show. We had a terrific response, JJ. Lots of views, lots of likes and shares.
Just incredible. Thank you for your reactions and your comments and, getting the word out about what CEDIA Expo is doing for our industry. And it's been great, man. We've met a lot of, manufacturers, just in passing, but also all of the dealers that are here.
Yeah, dealers. We went down to the expo yesterday, to the convention center. The doors aren't open. Even today, the doors aren't open, but the networking has begun, and we've started to catch up with friends and meet new people as well. We were lucky enough to get invited to a ball game last night. We went along to Coors Field, the Rockies, Colorado Rockies. That was my first experience of baseball.
Yeah, it was nice giving you an update on how baseball is actually played, and pitch versus the field. Was one of our
very enjoyable.
Oh man,
thank you,
great.
Robert Keeler. Big shout out to Robert and his
Robert.
team. We greatly appreciate the hospitality last night.
Today, man, we have a special guest coming in for breakfast.
It's not just us two. So
No.
breakfast show day 2. We've got a special guest, and we've kicked off first guest on the breakfast show. Big friend of ours. We're both big fans of this lady, Amanda Wildman.
Yeah, she's been doing a lot of things for CEDIA, and so we figured we'd invite her in. And she owns her own business with her husband,
TruMedia Home.
Yeah,
We've both followed Amanda and her team and the work they do. Amanda and Ponch. Amanda's going to share that with us today. We're going to go a deep dive into TruMedia Home. We're going to discover more about her work with CEDIA.
Yeah. We're going to talk about women in tech, because super impactful in our industry. And we're going to talk about volunteering with CEDIA and how it has impacted her business.
And to close up today, stay tuned. You may get a shout out. We're getting lots of requests for shout outs. We're going to put them at the end. We've got a long list in front of us here, some friends of the show, new listeners, new audience as well. So if you want to be a part of the show, get that shout out. Drop us a message. We're always available to reply to that DM. JJ, let's get into the show with Amanda.
Let's do it. All right, friends, and here's our guest, Amanda Wildman. Amanda, how are you?
I am doing great. I am in beautiful Denver, and I get to hang out with these two guys.
Well, thank you. Greatly appreciate that. Gamble.
Huge welcome to the show. You're our first guest at CEDIA Expo. We're excited to bring Amanda on. We've got some great questions for her about her business, her role with CEDIA, and as a very high-profile woman in technology in our industry. So, Amanda, introduce yourself to our audience. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into it.
Okay, well, my name's Amanda Wildman, and I own TruMedia technology integration firm with my husband in Ada, Michigan, which is Grand Rapids. How you know you're from Michigan, right? Hold up the hand. I'm on this side, right? Not on the Detroit side. That's how you know. You can just tell. Well, yeah, when someone's from Michigan, with the mitten. So I'm right here. And we've owned it for 16 years. It's a family-owned business and lots of fun.
Michigan is a place I've not been. Have you been there, JJ?
I have not, but I surely want to go. I mean, there's a couple of manufacturers out of Michigan that are awesome, and I'd love to go visit.
We both follow TruMedia a lot. Yeah. Amanda's one of the superstars of social media in our industry. We see you across all the platforms. You do a lot of videos. We see you doing house tours, jobs in progress, pre-wires, and new construction. But what's the history of TruMedia? Have you always been in the business? I know it's a husband and wife owned business.
It is, yeah. So actually, I was not always been in the business. I actually was supposed to be a jeweler when I grew up. I'm actually a certified dermatologist and gemologist. So that means I know an awful lot about some very expensive, very small, pretty little things. And when 16 years ago, my husband was starting a satellite business for somebody else. That's actually our background, is in satellite with Dish Network. And he was starting a business for somebody else and putting in a lot of time and a lot of work, and he's very talented at what he does. And I just said, why don't you try it for yourself? And you're so good at it, why don't you, try it on your own? And he spent a year really working on his own, honing his craft, getting really good at it, and the business started getting bigger and got to the point where I needed to be involved. And I think that's how a lot of husband and wife businesses kind of start off, is maybe he got involved in it first, and then she got brought in because you needed more help, more man hours, and more labor, and so I got brought in, and I'm enjoying the roller coaster ride, and it's been great.
Well, I'm part of a husband and wife team in my business.
Yeah, me as well.
My wife's a big support act as to the digital delight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we really know you from social media, Instagram as well as Facebook, and give our audience your handle so that they can watch your videos and see some of your content and like and save. But in your videos, you really try to communicate with the homeowner why they need a professional home technologist, and also what a professional home technologist can actually do for them.
Absolutely. First of all, I love following you guys online as well. And any of your people out there, I would love if they want to kind of join in and come visit me. You can find us on Facebook and on Instagram at TruMedia Home. And that's without the E. When you own your own business, you can spell it any way you want. So it's just spelled TRUMEDIA Home on Facebook and on Instagram. But what I really try to do with videos is I would go home and my husband, I would say, I really want to see what can be done in people's homes. And I really want to see it from a woman's perspective or a female perspective. And he goes, well, instead of complaining that you don't see it out there, he goes, you're a woman, you're in technology, why don't you do it?
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't I? I guess I probably should. And I think it's that first time, if you watched my first videos, I'm like, a lot. My mom was my only one watching, and so she counts and says, you said 500 times, and you need to fix that. And so when you start off, you're just trying to put the content out there. And I think even for you guys, when you first put the content out there, you don't know if people are watching. But then you start getting that feedback where people say, hey, I came across that problem, or I didn't know that I could do that. And you open up my eyes to something new. And my audience has been wonderful. I know your guys' audience has been wonderful. I love joining in and chatting anytime you guys have like a live feed. And it's a lot of fun. That's how we learn.
The projects that I enjoy watching on your content is the new construction. You seem to be a business that works primarily in new construction, or is there other avenues you're in other sectors?
Yeah, well, we're really blessed in West Michigan. We are growing huge. I think this morning we were talking about it, we have close to 50 homes or projects under new construction right now that we're working on. And so we're growing. It's a beautiful place. You guys have to come visit. Once you see Lake Michigan, you'll never want to go back. But we have challenges in Michigan too. For those of you who don't know, we don't have the heat that you have, JJ, but we do have the snow and the ice. And you guys have probably seen a couple of our videos where we are sliding around on ice. I've actually built a snowman inside of a home one time.
The thing about Michigan is you can always put more clothes on.
Yes.
In Texas, you can't take enough off.
That would be a problem. That is true.
But yeah, I'd love to come visit Michigan and take a look and firsthand and see the kind of solutions that y'all are providing. Builders, I'm assuming you're working a lot with builders and designers, architects.
Designers, yeah. And we know that not everybody can be there to see us on all of the job sites, and that's why I think that those videos are so important. I mean, people underestimate when you go through the building process what all is involved. Yeah. And I think in new construction, there's this really great, big misnomer that, well, everything's wireless out there, so can't I just do everything wireless? And people don't realize that there still has to be that infrastructure wire
absolutely.
for certain pieces of it.
We talk about it all the time.
Yeah. And getting that piece in, and so bringing people in so that they can see us work on a project and see what we're doing and what we're working on, it kind of pulls back the curtain, right? And it lets people see what our industry is like from start to finish. It's not just putting in the product at the end.
One of the things that Kris and I talk about all the time is women in technology and the influence that y'all are having in our industry. Can you elaborate a little bit more about the impact that the ladies are having on technology?
Absolutely. I think right now, we're in a perfect kind of storm, right, where women are getting more attention when they're in this industry. But we've had a lot of women that have been forefronts and precursors. You've got Carol Campbell that's been in the industry for a long time. You've got Melissa Andresco, with Lutron, that's been involved for a really long time. And these women have done a really great job of paving the way, and that have allowed women like me to come in and kind of be comfortable and be involved in this industry. You've got Jamie Riesmeister, that's out there, Heather Zimborski, all of these women, and now we're finally able to use modern day social media and things like that to get our faces out there and show young girls and young women that this can be a really cool, fun, viable career. And with all of the encouragement for girls and women in STEM programs and things like that, that has been phenomenal. I know I do, and I know Jamie does. We visit schools and we talk to young girls and we try to mentor and show them that it's an option, because I don't know that I saw that, when I was in school. No. And when you really look at where all this stuff started. Programming. I told you guys earlier, I just finished reading a book called The Rise of the Rocket Girls. Computers and programming was all predominantly a women industry for a very, very long time. And they were doing all of the mathematics, sending the rockets up into space. Everyone's seen the movie Hidden Figures, and they were the precursors.
Movie to watch in your home theater room, by the way.
Absolutely, yeah, when that rocket takes off, right? Yeah. So they helped pave the way, and I'm just a lucky recipient of that and helping to further that message and bring more women along with me.
So with businesses like your own and the extra hours you're putting in, going to schools and speaking to them, can you see a clear pathway for young people, girls, to go from school, college into this industry? Is the clear route is through CEDIA training? That's one path.
It is. So CEDIA is doing, I think, a really phenomenal job, and JJ has actually been working on that with me as well. And we have a workforce development working group team, and we're really looking at ways to introduce this industry to veterans, to returning citizens, to students coming out of middle schools, high schools, even college, to say, hey, now what do I do with my computer science degree? Or maybe sitting behind a desk and programming all day wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Right. I want something more fulfilling. I want to be away from the desk. Well, this is a great industry for people to be able to get into. You can take all that knowledge and that computer science, but then put it in life experiences and create experiences.
And for people that want to find out more about CEDIA, CEDIA stands for Custom Electronic Design and Installation Association, and you can find it at cedia.org and dig a little bit deeper, and they have a variety of different training programs that they're actually releasing. One of the biggest draws, and where we're at today, we're in Denver, Colorado, and it's our annual CEDIA Expo. And we have over 20,000 home technology professionals, as well as over 500 manufacturers that are here. And at this one location for this week, we have a variety of different training courses to choose from, so that you can train your staff or train yourself up, as well as manufacturers are here as well to provide education on very specific topics, like networking or lighting control or control itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is it you guys always say about finding a pro?
Yeah, he does it best.
Okay, you do it best.
If you don't know, find a home tech pro, and it's very important to do that. I mean, it's there are a lot of do-it-yourself type of devices, and we encourage, Kris and I definitely encourage people to go ahead and try to do it themselves.
Absolutely. But
that system can be so much more and expandable, and getting devices to communicate with each other to really create an impactful ecosystem. And that's really where a professional can come into play and make your house or make your business empowered.
And then this is where we learn, and this is where we build relationships too. I mean, I'm going to learn about how a product works well in my area, and I might share that with you, Kris. Sure. And so a challenge that one of my clients may have come up with, you say, hey, that would be a perfect solution for one of my clients, or, JJ. And that's where when we come together and we do these kind of events, it's just, two or three in this case are greater than the source of the three of us. Right. I mean, we come up with all of these great ideas to give our clients and our people back home the best experience possible.
Right. I like explaining it that, you're able to take little tidbits of information to create your own formula that is right for the homeowners that you're providing that solution for.
Well, and just what you guys recently did with your whole, we were talking about that too this morning, your $3,000 home solution. What Kris came up with was different than what JJ came up with, and I'm totally going to admit to you guys that I geeked out a little bit, because after watching that, I went home and I started writing my $3,000 solutions. Awesome. So it was really fun, and I'm sure that the people watching did that as well. They said, well, what can I put together? And that's the cool thing, is the system and how I want my experience in my home to be is very different perhaps than yours, and very different than yours. Right. And so this is a great area to be able to do that. And the service that you guys are offering to the public out there, coming up with solutions, it's not always necessarily the exact right way. Yeah. There's a lot of different solutions to come up with what's going to be personalized and best for you.
Now, Amanda, you really came onto my radar being in the UK, not in this country, but I didn't know your installation business, but it was your voluntary roles that you were fulfilling with CEDIA. And I don't know how long you've been a member, but there seems to have been this big rise in your profile within our industry And it's down to the hard work you're putting in with CEDIA, the support that they're giving you as well. You know, you're part of an organization, but you're participating in it heavily and really contributing meaningful knowledge to them and experience. So tell us more about the voluntary roles that you're in and the opportunities for others as well, because they're always needing volunteers.
Absolutely. Always needing ideas and great volunteers and people that are willing to share. And I think being a small business owner, the first thing that you think is, well, my time is already, you know, I have so much pressure on my time.
Right.
How could I cut out time to volunteer? But what I found is in the volunteering, I've gained so much more out of it in the relationships and things like that. Not everybody knows, but CEDIA has some great councils. Monday, the Technology Advisory Council met, and that's a group of individuals that are exceptionally brilliant, very forward thinkers. I mean, you've got like the Rich Greens in there, you've got the Walt Zerbys in there. I mean, these guys, all of these guys. And they're in there and they're saying all of this new technology is coming out and all of these great ideas. Where do we hone that? How do we make that relevant for our industry? Is it relevant for our industry? We have that conversation.
And then probably how can we prepare the industry to service these types of new ideas that are coming out?
Absolutely. So there's an entire council specifically for that. And I had the opportunity Monday to sit in with them and really learn a lot about things that are coming in that weren't even necessarily on my radar, you know, and now I'm saying, okay, yeah, somebody's helping to look out for those future things and how are they going to affect us.
Right.
And so that's really, really great. And then CEDIA also has an organization, a council called the Professional Development Advisory Council. And what that does is that takes things when this technology is coming down the way and says, now let's develop education around that so that when all of us take these courses and we provide that to our clients, they know that we're teaching them and we're doing it in the best to the best, highest standards way. And so we're developing the education for that. So it's not just, hey, there's this new technology, let's just kind of figure it out and wing it to get it together. That's why we're home technology professionals. We go through the classes, we make sure that it's done to standards, we make sure that it's done properly so that your experience at home is the best experience that it can be.
Right. And so I know that you were awarded CEDIA Volunteer of the Year for 2018.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. That's
It
a
is.
big deal. That's big.
It is. It was a huge
Sitting
honor.
next to royalty here.
I know. Oh gosh. I don't know about that, but no, you know, it's one of those things that of all of the awards that you can get, to be recognized by your peers that, hey, thank you for what it is that you did, and we appreciate your volunteering. Like, that's more than, you know, putting up for, you know, an award for, you know, best home theater and things like that. Those are great. Those are phenomenal awards, not to discount those.
Yeah.
But when your peers are looking at you and giving you an award to say thank you.
It's personal as well.
It
It's
is.
a great personal achievement.
Absolutely
And
personal.
was there any transfer of that to your customers? Did you share that news with them? Is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so important to let them know that,
I agree.
you know, that I'm part of the voice of the industry. I'm not just going into their home, but I'm trying to be a part of the voice, and I'm constantly trying to learn. And they just announced this morning that the board nominations are out, so I got nominated for that. So I got nominated for the board. So any of you that are able to vote, you better vote for me. Vote for you. No, just joking. But no, it's a really big honor because it takes that step further of saying, now I can help to work with a really, really great team of people to influence the way that this industry goes. And I think that that's important that we all have a voice. This year, we have actually 4 women nominations, which is phenomenal. So just seeing what you talked about, women in tech, so having 4 females up, which they're, I mean, I'm in amazing good company. You've got Melanie Malcolm, you know, and Mia, and, you know, Jamie and myself. And so I think that that's really, really cool, you know, to see.
Well, what we would like to see is that then reflect within businesses, within installation business, within the member companies. We want to see, I would love to see more female technicians. I really believe there's a role for females facing other females. The homeowner often to us is the female in the house, making the decisions.
Well,
Mum is the decision maker, even with the technology nowadays, I feel.
Yeah, and not even only that, but women are waiting now later. They're having more careers, or maybe they aren't getting married right away. So they're in careers and they're making decisions, and they're even making their own personal home purchases on their own, and they need to feel that they have someone that they can talk to and someone that they can relate to. And that's why it's so important to have that voice.
Right.
And not even just women, but minorities all the way across the board. I mean, we're seeing a huge outreach in Latin American countries. I mean, how exciting is all of that? And, you know, in India. I mean, come on, you know?
The digital Ramble, for those that don't know, has a huge following in India.
Yeah, exactly.
It's for real.
And
it's amazing how starved they are for what we do, and they just embrace technology.
And just they want the knowledge.
Oh, they want the knowledge, and they want to actually install it and create some incredible experiences over there in India. It's amazing, you know, in areas how technology is being used in unique ways all over the world. Yeah, that's great.
And so you have to have a voice to represent that.
I know the team in CEDIA in the UK have a lot of hard work providing training and events for the members in India, because the growth there is incredible.
Right.
You know, member numbers I would like to say they're probably doubling all the time there. There's a buoyant market of home automation and a lot of luxury. Some of the best home theaters I've seen have been in India.
Oh yeah,
believe it.
Well, and who didn't watch, what was that? I mean, I know this isn't India, but the whole Crazy Rich Asians, right?
Yeah,
so I mean, the technology that came out in that movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and these are things that people are creating in people's homes, and you have to have representation of all of us, right?
So today we're going to, actually not today,
Tomorrow
we're actually going to be hitting the expo floor. It opens up at 9 o'clock. Is there any must-see manufacturers that are like on your bucket list? I've got to go here and check this out. What do you got?
So for sure, you guys know Sonos, right?
Oh,
Everybody goes and sees Sonos.
Oh, yeah.
That's the favorite of all of us. Leon, they're bringing all of their cool new stuff. They have awesome design
the most
stuff.
stylish brand
in tech for me and custom
culture,
tech.
that product.
I love the
And
culture.
Michigan.
They're in
So
Detroit.
see, yes, they're Detroit. They're Michigan.
Okay.
So got to represent.
Leon Speakers is what you're searching for on Instagram, and they custom make exactly what you need for your technology
A
solutions.
designer's like dream come true.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Great
And
company.
Lutron, I mean, they never disappoint. I think when you looked at last year, I looked at their booth and they showed like their timeline. I mean, they were like some of the very first to do anything with like dimmable lights and anything.
They were the inventor of the dimmer.
Yeah.
How about
50s, early
they were on board when the app came out?
Yeah. But they're still here and they're still innovating. I mean,
They're
how cool
so
is that?
far ahead of the curve. It's amazing.
Yeah, and so you
Love it.
always have to go see that booth.
Yeah.
I mean, and lighting is such an important thing right now in our industry. I mean, all of the stuff with, light being changed, for your environment.
Yeah.
You've got color lighting, you've got temperature, you've got all of this type of stuff that is rolling out, and Lutron's leading the way in all of that.
And lighting's playing this big role in wellness.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference to the color temperature of light, the brightness of light, the timing of lighting.
For your mood.
All adds up to this wellness theme we're seeing. There's this wellness area. You're going to check that out?
Yeah, the biophilia, right?
Yeah.
The biophilia area, and the whole thing where you're going to be able to go in and aromatherapy, right? We talked about that this morning, chilling out.
I want some hot rocks. Hopefully they're up in there.
Rumors are there's no phones.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
This is the rumor.
Yeah, the rumor is that there might not be allowed to be phones. I mean, so you're going to be in this vast group of people with all this amazing technology around. And you cannot have like the phone or the iPad or the digital technology like what you would. We'll see how that goes.
I can't go far with that.
Maybe they'll let you sneak in a video so you can get a couple videos and stuff, right? You got to share it with everybody. So.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Anybody else that you are looking to?
Our class. So did you tell everybody about our class yet?
Let's talk about that.
Okay, so it's the hidden gem, right?
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, it's not in the booklet. So if you want to come see JJ and I talk, we are on a panel on Friday at 1 o'clock, room 712.
712, that's right.
Yep. We're doing a panel called Find, Hire, and Keep Your Next Rock Star.
Yep.
And it's all about kind of out-of-the-box thinking, which I love because you guys, I mean, you're the inventors of that out-of-the-box thinking with this whole video thing. But you come up with new and fresh ideas. And that's what we're looking to share with people. How do we keep our employees happy? How do we work with our staff? And some of those ideas might even be good for people even outside of our industry.
Right.
But coming up with creative ways, and then also showcasing some of the ways that CEDIA is helping to give education to help get you jump started on some technicians and people that want to get in the industry. And even for the general public out there, if you think this is a career area that you want to be in, CEDIA is setting up tons and tons of education for you to kind of get involved.
I love it. I love it.
So Amanda, just to close out on the interview, please remind everyone the business, the location, the website, the social media handles. Where can we find you and connect with you, and even with you personally?
Yeah, okay, perfect. So TruMedia Home on both Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So we're on all of those, and Instagram TV, I guess. That's a whole separate deal.
IGTV.
IGTV, gotta love it. So, and that's TruMedia without the E, so TRUMEDIA Home. And then that's also our website, TruMediaHome.com. And then I am Amanda Wildman. I should say my last name right. I always say it funny because everybody freaks out and they're like, is it really Wildman? And I'm like, yes. So try to order a pizza and say, I want it delivered to Wildman. You know, so it really is Wildman, exactly how it sounds. And married into that. So
shout out to the husband.
Yeah, shout out to the husband, Punch. So even better yet, order a pizza saying that you're Punch, Wildman, and see if it gets delivered. Yeah, they think it's a prank call, right? Doesn't get delivered.
We'll be there. Yeah, we'll be there.
So so find us on social media. You can find me online. Vote for the board. We've got lots of great nominees that are up there, and you guys have some people that have been giving you guys shout outs, and you need to give some love to.
Absolutely. Over the year, we've had tremendous support from our community, as well as with our audience of consumers that listen and correspond and engage with us about the content that we are providing. And this year, we've had several friends of ours in the industry that have shouted out to us, and we want to say a hello to some of them. And Jesse Silva over at thepave.com, he's over in Arizona, has been a tremendous support for us. He's here at the show, so thank you, Jesse, for holding us down. And who else you got?
Yeah, so heading over to the UK, Rich Heckle and his team at Art of Smart. They are at Art of Smart UK. They cover the whole of the UK, overseas, fast-growing, young, exciting business. Go check out Rich and his team at Art of Smart UK. You want to do this one, Amanda?
Yeah, sure. The Premier Group, actually, Jason and Ken, which are award winners, right?
CEDIA award winners.
Out of Indiana. So they are at Premier Group Indy. So check them out. They're awesome guys.
Yeah, shout out, guys. And also our good friends, Jamie, James, and Joe, and Danny with Techminity. And you can find them on Instagram at TechDad. And they're out of New York, and they do some really interesting stuff for technology. And actually, it's not just only the units, but it's the entire building itself. So if you're interested in, learning how you might be able to provide infrastructure or need some ideas for entire buildings, hit those guys up.
Yeah. Where can we find us, JJ? We're on Instagram, YouTube.
Oh yeah, man.
We've also got a new website.
Yeah, we're all over the place. You can find us at digitalrambleshow.com. We're also on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube. Just type in Digital Ramble. And every Wednesday at 3 o'clock Texas time, we drop a new video that's focused on some type of consumer electronics or technology that's in the industry. And we come up with some really cool, interesting topics. And so please check us out. And then also, we got like 11 podcast channels that the Digital Ramble streamed on.
11. That is even more than like two hands.
Why not 10?
Right? Because you go above and beyond, right? You need to take out your hands and your toes. That's how many places you can find them.
Well, big thank you to Amanda and Ponch. They both give us a lot of support today, and I'll admit it, we had some technical issues. This is take two of the show, but we really appreciate Amanda supporting the show. We're excited to give you some exposure with the news you've given us with CEDIA Board nominations. So
good luck to everybody, absolutely. Yeah. And thank you for your volunteership and making our industry strong.
Thank you. Well, thanks you guys so very much for having me. It was awesome.
You're welcome.
All right. Until next time, if you don't know, find a Home Tech Pro.